Hello and welcome to my Yahoo Finance Premium review and tutorial. I'm going to break down the most important factors that you get behind the premium paywall in Yahoo Finance, show you what those are like, and also give you a run through at the same time so you can decide if making this purchase is worth it for your investing benefit. You're going to get to Yahoo Finance just by doing a quick Google search for the platform. And the first tab that you're going to want to go to that is not necessarily just a premium feature, but is available for the free customers who are not paying, is your My Portfolio tab right here. This is what everything is going to run through on the Yahoo Finance portfolio. You're going to want to be able to analyze your current accounts, and this is the first step to doing that. To connect your current accounts, don't make the same mistake I did and manually enter your trades and your holdings. You can go right over here to the link broker, and I've already got two linked, Fidelity and Robinhood, which is great because it allows you to simultaneously link multiple accounts and analyze those through the premium features. But you're just going to need to enter a username and password. Yahoo Finance does all the rest on the back end, and it's quite a seamless connection between your current brokers and this platform. Now, this is our starting point. We're going to cover 5 key elements that you're really going to get with the premium feature that you can't access otherwise, and we'll leave it up to you to decide whether they're worth it, but I'll walk you through from the beginning. The first thing that you're going to want to look for is, and just click on one of your accounts. I'll click on my main Robinhood account, and we're going to go into the Performance tab. Most free users will start on the Summary tab and not be able to see what's behind these paywalls, but we're going to dive in here to the Performance tab, and this is going to allow you to compare your performance in your portfolio that you've put together piece by piece to other markets. Now, we're going to do a pretty standard comparison between my portfolio in the blue, the Robinhood account, and the S&P 500. And you can add different things in. We'll just show you really the complete flexibility behind this. We'll do the Russell 2000. At another chart, as you can see, mine in the blue is outperforming the Russell, but slightly underperforming the S&P 500. You can even do individual stocks. Let's look at Tesla for fun here, just to show you really what all you can put in here, and pick different time ranges. You can go 5 years back and really just get the complete expanse in what is available to you in comparing portfolio performance. I like this feature. It's efficient, it's clean, and it runs well. Let's move into the bottom portion of the performance section of the premium account. This page here is going to be most beneficial for grouping your holdings by sector. Unfortunately, we notice right off the top here that I have four in fact ETFs that are not really recognized and grouped into a sector. This is understandable, but because I'm such a big ETF investor, it sort of throws off my overall distribution and diversity in the portfolio. You can see that so much of my portfolio is in this light blue, which isn't really recognized in a category. It's just loosely termed as others. So there's nothing really we can do about that. But this is a great section to see if you are overweight or underweight in any area. I don't know another trading platform that I currently use between Robinhood and Fidelity that breaks it down this well. You can see what percentage of your portfolio is in technology. For example, 8.45% in technology, and your overall return from that sector. So that's a really solid place to start in the premium membership. I do like that feature. We're going to head up and look at the characteristics tab next. This is a very, very basic tab. It goes down only to this window where it shows you some basic factors that most people like to evaluate their portfolios and individual stocks to see what areas are going to be strengths and weaknesses. In here, I'm a dividend investor, so my primary look in this would be the dividend yield. And a great thing about this is you can seamlessly switch between multiple brokerages if you have them linked. So I can see that my one has a slightly higher dividend yield with my holdings in Fidelity, which is true. It's a more conservative portfolio, and you can see the diversity here has changed. We're going to move on to the risk analysis tab. characteristics isn't that intensive. It's not that great of a feature, but it's great to see that it's there. It gives you a little bit more of a breakdown into your portfolio. We'll switch back to the Robinhood, which has a little bit more money. That'll be a bit more interesting. And this gives you 3 different measures here in the risk analysis. I don't know of a place that gives you the exact format of breakdown, but I do know a lot of brokerages give you something very, very similar. So this does not stand out as an extremely unique tab to me. It gives us a bit of a beta breakdown. Of course, the S&P 500 is represented as a extremely, it's a good, what am I looking for? It's a good constant. Anything less than a 1.0 is going to be less risky than the S&P 500. Anything more than a 1.0 is considered more risky. My portfolio is right to the right-hand side of this S&P 500 mark, so it's extremely in line with the S&P 500, and that makes sense because of how much I have invested in ETFs that replicate the S&P 500. Something interesting here is a portfolio risk measure over time. Now, there's nothing you can do with this. You can't click in and see anything in more detail, but it shows you a beta, a volatility, and alpha figures for your portfolio. Unfortunately, it only goes back about a year, so it doesn't give you that much of an in-depth look as to what your portfolio has done over time, although you can see in mine that there's been a bit of a shift. So more interesting data, but in terms of my own personal research and stock-related preferences, it's great to look at, but may not be great to own for, say, a whole year of portfolio evolution for my style of investing. Now, finally, the last and still a whole nother section of the premium account is this tab up here, titled Premium. We're going to click right into that and break this tab down for you. And this shows you just a whole different side of your portfolio, something that you're really going to want to know before deciding whether or not to buy the premium features. So in this premium tab, the first window that you'll come up and see is a few different insights into your account. These all look really, really cool. You've got a valuation, diversification, and a risk level insight, but they actually loop you back to the same 3 pages that we had been on before. So it's a little bit misleading. I'll show you right here. The valuation, if you click on that, it'll take you back to this performance tab, and it'll encourage you to scroll down, and it gives you a few takes on where your companies are at. You see Wendy's near fair value, whereas Johnson & Johnson may be a little bit overvalued by their opinion now. Yes, it's valuable information. However, you kind of just get looped into a cycle already seeing pages that you've learned and known about and probably accessed before. So we'll head back up to the premium tab. We're not going to go into any more of these insights. They'll just send us back to pages that I've already showed you and highlight features that I've showed you. But we'll scroll down and get into a little bit more of what of the content that this offers. We've got research reports for a bunch of random stocks that it thinks would be relevant to my interest. I'd rather see stocks that I actually own at this point, but I guess it's not a terrible feature. Again, more random stocks that it thinks I would be interested in, rated on a fair value scale between undervalued, maybe stocks that you would want to look into buying, to overvalued stocks currently in their opinion. We've also got a list of technical events for stocks that I follow. Again, I didn't input any of these, so I'm not sure where they're pulling these recommendations from, but I'm sure that you could, if you spent enough time, get it to key in on stocks that you would seriously be considering using for your own investing. Off of this, and we're soon done here with the features in the premium tab, I want to show you just a few more things here. We're going to go into research reports. That's our next tab under the premium section. I think these are very valuable, and I think there's a lot of great information in here. Let's just look at Ford. So we'll go to Ford Motor Company, and easy to download, full-on research reports that are extremely in-depth. I love reading these before making a decision whether to buy or sell, and I think this is absolutely one of the biggest and best features on Yahoo Finance. However, you can access these certainly through a number of other brokerages and you can get them for free whether you invest with those brokerages or not, Fidelity being one of them. So is it worth paying the $34.99 a month or the $340 some per the year for that? You get a lot of them and you get a lot of opinions. So if this is really your thing, I think it's an option. But I think you could go other places in the market to get similar content. The second tab, and this is something I really like, it's one of my favorite sections in this whole premium section of Yahoo Finance, is the investment ideas tab. We're going to dive into this a little bit, but I think that I often get stalled thinking outside of the box for investments that really fit my portfolio. I'm going to show you a number of different filters you can use, and they seem to have very detailed information that really allows you to dive into the stock. And this will be the last thing that we talk about, but this is one of the biggest calling cards, in my opinion, for purchasing a premium subscription to Yahoo Finance. We're going to go into filters, and I'll filter by a few things that are very important to me. I'm looking for stocks with a buy rating. We'll clear the forward filtering from before. I'm looking for stocks with a buy rating. I'm looking for more of a long-term purchase, so I'm going to put that in there. And I want fundamental analysis as to the realization that these will be buy-rated stocks. So trade type is going to be fundamental, and those are the only filters that I'll put on. It gives you a list of stocks that do fit these qualifications, these categories. A few certainly in here: Deere & Company, Autodesk, Public Storage, a whole bunch of these that I would not have considered myself that fit my investing qualifications. And I think this is really great in terms of opportunity for you to find new stocks to invest in. I'll dive into Bud for a second. Anheuser-Busch. Company Outlook is the last premium feature that I want to show you. And this just gives us a bit more of information to use as an investor. Guys, this wraps up my report of the Yahoo Finance Premium section. I hope that you found this to be a good tutorial, a good review. If you're looking for more in this line of investing products reviews to upgrade your game a little bit, the channel is filled with them. Please like and subscribe. I'll answer any comments down below in the chat section, and I hope that you could get a bit more of a good perspective on the premium features of Yahoo Finance. In conclusion, I think it's a good option for a few investors, but you've really got to be into seeking out and buying individual stocks and then doing deep dives into those stocks to see whether they're right for you. I think you can find a lot of this information in other places for free with your standard brokerage that you may use. And I think that it may not be worth, in my personal opinion, $349 for an entire year. It would be something that I would consider subscribing to for a month to break down and analyze my portfolio, or even taking advantage of their 14-day free trial, but not something personally that I find value that a whole year's worth of subscription for the $349 price point is worth it in my mind. Let me know what you decide to do, and if I can answer any other questions